How do I get that voice? Like, what's the top tip? Help me out, him.
I don't know. I don't know how.
Come on,
I don't know
like,
how I do it. I don't know how I do it. It just happens.
What's like a word, like a sentence or phrase that you'd say?
Honestly, anything. It just happens. I just drop the voice into the depths of my throat.
Honestly,
and then,
anything.
See, if you just
The Witcher season 2, we go even deeper into Witcher mythology in this season. Did you have to do any revision prior to filming starting?
I am a huge fan of the books anyway,
Yeah.
and so I campaigned really, really hard to make sure, I campaigned really hard to try and get as much of Geralt from the books into the show, as much as Lauren's vision would allow, as much as her plot and framework would allow. It's a tricky one because I have the knowledge already, and then revisiting it, this is very much Lauren's own version of the story, and so it's difficult to draw parallels, and so if you revise too much down that route, it can start to pull you off the story which Lauren's writing.
Yeah.
And so it was a little bit of a tricky one, a little bit of a balance, but I did as much as I could, and of course, as I say, I just campaigned really hard to get that character from the books. Even if the storylines are different, I wanted to have Geralt be an intellectual. I wanted to have a sense of wisdom, a philosophical lean, a soulfulness to him. I mean, yes, he's also mopey and childish a lot of the time as well, and grumpy.
Very grumpy. Yeah.
But it's bringing that three-dimensional character to the show rather than him just being a roughy-tufty, grumpy snowman dude.
What's actually really helpful is that Henry is an encyclopedia for The Witcher. Like, he knows everything. So if you ever need anything, you just go to him. But yeah, it is generally, for me, I find it easier to just focus on what's going on in my storyline, because that's hard enough to keep up with in itself. You know what I mean? Without focusing on all the other politics that's going on in the other storylines. So yeah,
So
like, we don't have to deal with that.
If you're in a quiz and you need to phone a friend, who are you phoning?
To do with The Witcher?
Yeah.
Oh, Henry. Any
Every
day.
time, really.
Yeah, he's an absolute nerd.
Spotify Raptors dropped this week, and people have been sharing like some of their most listened to tracks.
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty cringe, but do you think that Toss a Coin to Your Witcher is part of your most listened to tracks of 2021?
I
just got a vision of you vibing out in the shower to it.
I wish I could say yes, it was.
Yeah.
But because it's part of something that I'm a part of, it would feel a little weird.
Yeah.
I feel like I was patting myself on the back a little bit too much.
Oh no, not mine.
God, no.
Absolutely not mine.
I think you have to listen to me every day,
Oh,
so why
gosh.
would you choose to do that? No,
That'd be the worst thing ever.
No, I don't know.
Just keep going.
All right, carry on cutting them down. And that would be the
Just
worst
my
thing ever.
self-esteem just slowly dropping.
Yeah.
No, you don't like it anyway. I mean,
I never said that. I said it's not for me. I've listened to it for like a year before it was even released. So
just-
I'm just,
it's so constant.
it's. I've moved on. We've
I mean, it's
all moved
brilliant.
on.
It's a genius song, but it has been played a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, there was covers and everything.
Yeah, I
wasn't
know.
there?
Yeah.
The covers started popping off.
So
And
it's the gift that keeps on giving.
some play it, some say that. Yeah, my mum has it on repeat while she does the ironing and everything like that. Like literally, I'm like, Mum, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just
Listening to
Joey.
Joey farting about.
Absolutely not.
Do you not have it on repeat in the shower, Kim?
Absolutely not.
No.
No, I'm listening to any kind of music, but not that one.
Not that
Yes, precisely.
one. Anything to get away from Joey's voice, is it?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's not really my beat. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not what I'm gonna be. It's not what I'm gonna be, you know, dancing to really in the club.
Doing the sword aspect.
Yeah.
But it is good. So I'm listening to it in my bedroom.
On that bombshell, guys, it's been an absolute.
Okay, Kim.
I love you. I love
All
you, Kim. Apparently, you used that iconic voice even offset during season 1. Was that the same for season 2?
I mean, yes and no. The thing is, it's because it's such a voice, you drop yourself down to a certain register and you're sitting there.
Yeah.
It can then be, it's not automatic to go back to your natural voice.
Yeah.
And so you may find the odd word here or there, or when you come off set, it's almost like feathering out of the voice. But yeah, I wasn't like rocking around chatting to people in Method Geralt or anything.
I was like, how do I get that voice? Like, what's the top tip? Help me out, him.
I don't know. I don't know how.
Come on,
I don't know
man.
how I do it. I don't know how I do it. It just happens.
What's like a word, like a sentence or phrase that you'd say?
honestly, anything. It just happens. I just drop the voice into the depths of my throat,
Honestly,
and then
anything.
See, if you just
Yo,
if you just kept on doing that,
Honestly,
yeah, and you keep on practicing, and then eventually your larynx will relax, and you'll be able to have a more baritone version of that.
Hey, that's it. That's how I'm going to be talking for the rest of the day. It sounds like a real big passion project for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that you could be your other castmates in a Witcher pub quiz? That face says everything.
I mean, I think maybe Joey knows a lot.
He's up there.
He's up there. Yeah, I think Joey and I would give each other a run for our money. But I'm not too sure about anyone else.
No, I am the worst.
Really?
Don't bring me. I will not know a thing.
What do you reckon?
I'm there on set filming and I'm like, sorry, what's the name of the creature again? Like, even in interviews now, I'm like, I did say that right, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, I'm awful. I'm really not good at remembering the technicalities of this world. But, not me. Joey's amazing, actually.
Joey can.
Actually, you know
Joey's
what?
good.
Joey would give Henry a run for his money.
I think these two can have fun.
Yeah. I want to see them compete, actually. We should so set that up.
Henry's already said it's not happening.
No, he's
like, no,
afraid.
no.
He's afraid of Joey.
That's the way we could spin it. That's
Definitely.
the way we could spin it.
I would be.
Henry would
Henry
trump
would
sort.
win.
He would win.
He said that you would win.
You see, I think
No.
it would be between,
Yeah?
it would be
He's
between
being
me
very
and
polite.
Henry, I think.
It'd be Henry.
And then if me and you were on the same team, we could probably beat him.
Okay, yeah.
I think
maybe.
if we were on the same team,
Yeah.
we could
He
maybe.
said it's never going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Yeah. We should make that happen, actually. No, that's so.
I'd be-
No, we don't need to go into
Yeah.
which one any more than we
Yeah.
are.
Now, you said after season 1 premiered that you dug around on Reddit and looked at some of the fan theories and stuff like that. Was there any that jumped out at you and was like, oh, actually, it could go this way, you know?
I mean, there's so many on there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say anything necessarily jumped out.
Yeah.
I explore Reddit, and I mean, one, because it's fun. I like Reddit, and but as a source of information, it's really helpful for me to see what everyone's saying, what everyone's thinking, and to see how much my thinking falls in line with whichever side of that spectrum it is, and whether I'm doing the wrong thing, for example, by campaigning hard for the book Geralt to exist, or whether I'm doing the right thing, and that helps me.
And also, Geralt has this like incredible new look this season with the new armor. Was the hair like strict rules? Do not touch the hair by popular demand.
It wasn't necessarily do not touch the hair by popular demand. It was Jackie Rathor, my hairstylist, and the lady who was in charge of the wig last season as well, worked really hard to get the wig to a good place by the end of it. And once something works, once it's don't try and fix it if it's not broken. And so if you start messing around with it, then it might end up looking terrible again.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very complicated process. And she was, season 1, she worked so hard on that. She was taking it home at night and working on it for hours and we were working 16-hour days. So she was working 18, 19-hour days. And it means a lot that she puts that kind of work into it. And so I'm not going to say, oh yeah, can you just change this?
And Kim, Henry said that you guys like worked with each other to develop and to bond with like this relationship in real life to reflect your characters. What sort of things did that entail? Like, did you go bowling? Like, was you there like?
Yeah, a lot of bowling. we had he wanted to go into the emotional stuff with Geralt, and so the base of Vesimir's world is based on nature and the knowledge about who are you know, and you can learn yourself very well being alone in nature. I have been there. I lived in the forest for 20 years. I love to work in the Arctic Circle. Through these talks, first of all, this guy who knows about Witcher said, then you know about Vesemir, you are Vesemir, so let's talk. And his vision about finding himself in nature also, and through that we bond, And we were in lockdown period, so we couldn't go out. So we were only based on set, together.
Yeah.
So there we made all this lovely, friendly knowledge between us.
Yeah, out and about in nature. I did the Duke of Edinburgh once, where you went camping and that. That was traumatic. I didn't bond with nature. So
They said if I wanted to sign up, I was like, no, thank you. Yeah. I'm good, thanks.
What for? What for? Cold and spiders and that? No way. Definitely after season 1, there was a lot of like fan theories going around like online. Do you read into any of them? Like, you don't? Like, is there any that you thought will maybe come back to life?
It's hard to miss.
I don't really like.
I don't go looking for them.
Everybody
we're
thought you were a
looking for
monster
anything.
because you don't age.
Oh,
I said
yeah.
it's good moisturiser, maybe. Like.
Yeah, I think I've said this before. If you look at photos of me like 10, 15 years ago, I look the same. I've got the Paul Rudd syndrome, where I don't think my face is changing.
For real.
I've got a child's
Like
face.
Pharrell, yeah.
So if anyone, yeah, exactly. If anyone thinks Yasuke is immortal, then so am I.